Let's start with chainsaw, and let's go with it. Okay. There have been reports of this item being seen at the Urgent facility, though there are no known uses for it. Security personnel have been made aware that this item has likely been smuggled onto Mars and have been directed to confiscate it immediately, as there are no practical uses for it. It must be assumed that this item should be considered a black market enthusiast weapon. Pistol. Every USC employee is provided a standard USC AMG Energy Matter Gel sidearm upon promotion to Tier 2 or and above. The sidearm is reliable and effective at short range. A gravity gear dynamo in the stock charges a capacitor whenever the operator moves. When the weapon is fired, the capacitor compresses up to 4 megawatts of agent energy into a hardened plasma gel and launches the slug at high velocity. The gel slug has the same impact properties of conventional ammunition, making the weapon act and feel like a standard ballistic firearm. The weapon is constructed of thermally diffusive metal alloys, which allows it to discharge rapidly and repeatedly without overheating or compromising the accuracy. Capacitor in the AMG can also be upgraded to concentrate the energy into one large pulse for more stopping power. Yeah. Next, we will try to do it in the order where we get these guns, and I hope I will not mishmash them and just lose the sorting. Okay, combat shotgun next. The USC shotgun disperses a spread of high velocity buckshot for maximum impact against the enemy. Ideally suited for the operative who requires a speedy response for deadly close encounters. The wide coverage of this weapon loses impact at long range. The weapon is forged from a high-quality titanium steel alloy to ensure maximum reliability, repeat rate, and yield strength. Explosive shot. The shotgun ammunition incorporates a glycine fuse that detonates an octanitrocubane gel upon impact. Don't ask me what that means. Embedded shot is dispersed at the point of impact, creating a wide area of effect. Highly effective against multiple targets or when detonated to the rear of enemies come on, I missed it. Where it is? In defilade. Okay. Next will be a rifle. High assault rifle. Although recently superseded by the plasma rifle as the USC's standard issue weapon, the heavy assault rifle is still in widespread use due to its dependable mechanical firing mechanism, high accuracy at long range, and an abundant supply of ammunition. The weapon is effective at all engagement distances and is best used against a solitary target unless a micromissile modifications is present. The standard issue ammunition is a .5 caliber full metal jacket round. So yes, they say that plasma rifle is a better, more modern variant, but I will argue with that. I think in-game heavily assault rifle way better. And if you looked at my playthrough, you noticed that I used plasma rifle mostly to just stun enemies. That's it. And other plasma ammunition was used by Gauss cannon when I unlocked it. Let's move on. Tactical scope. The heavy assault rifle can be fitted with a parallax compensating telescopic sight that allows for multiple zoom levels and gimbal-mounted recoil stabilizers. The high accuracy of the USC TS-3 turns the HAR into an excellent sniper rifle that is capable of firing multiple rounds without creating unmanageable recoil. That's not the thing we use most of the time. Like you see this on the 5 kills on sniper style kills, and 83 kills with micro missiles. A multi-chambered cylinder located under the primary barrel can be loaded with up to 6 HMX missiles. These small but deadly rockets were designed to deliver multiple payloads to a single target, but can also be used to subdue multiple targets within a tight kill zone. The missiles will detonate shortly. Will detonate shortly after making contact with any surface. After that, we have plasma rifle. The plasma rifle became standard issue among military units with the advent of engine-powered electromagnetic accelerators. Based off the HIPGD design of the early 21st century, I don't know what that means, this weapon delivers a rapid salvo of plasmoids that inflict both impact and thermal damage to the target. Stun bomb. This modification condenses multiple plasmoids into single pulse. The resulting discharge exceeds the Fraunhofer limit, creating a string of Birkeland currents. The resulting filamentary structure will incapacitate any target caught within the radius for a few seconds. This modification requires cooling between uses. They throw some scientific mumbo jumbo, but maybe it's real effects that closely related to biological organs being stunned. I don't know, but for me it's scientific mumbo jumbo if you ask. Okay, so what's next? Probably rocket launcher. This weapon has seen little design modifications since its development in the late 21st century. It is standard issue to heavy weapon specialists in all military forces due to its unparalleled direct impact and radius damage. The USC improved the design slightly by adding an automatic quick reload. The weapon casing has been retrofitted to accept USC developed modifications. Yeah, the main question is how to reload it that quickly. And let's just imagine they did it because it's sci-fi. Remote detonation. This simple modification applies an nanofiber membrane to the fuse of the projectile upon leaving the firing chamber. This membrane contains a graphite weave laced with low density explosive, allowing the operator to override the impact fuse and detonate the explosive charge within the projectile at any time after launch. Care must be used when employing this modification, as there's no safety system present to prevent self-harm. Yeah, this rocket launcher itself is not made to prevent self-harm. Okay, next entry. Lock-on burst. Each projectile for the USC rocket launcher is fitted with a guidance system at manufacture. This modification activates that guidance system. Macro motors in the fin assembly will guide the rocket towards a painted target. When the operator uses the built-in laser targeter to lock on a target, a salvo of 3 rockets is launched in rapid succession. Targeting requires a steady hand for several seconds, but once achieved, the guided projectiles never miss the mark. Nice. Let's move on. What's next? Let's say it's Gauss... No, Super Shotgun. While this weapon has been removed from the USC's approved weapon arsenal, many veteran operators insist that there is no better alternative for close combat. It offers incomparable destructive power at extremely close range, but is completely ineffective at long range. The weapon is light and small, making it a favorite secondary weapon that no self-respecting specialists will be seen without. Now, what we've missed? Okay, Gauss cannon. The Gauss accelerator design has been used by the USC as the basis for numerous industrial projects over the years, such as the Agent Tower itself and the ore diggers found on Deimos and Phobos. With very few moving parts, the Gauss cannon makes a reliable, powerful weapon. By accelerating steel flash tests through a magnetized chamber, extremely high velocities can be achieved. The weapon has near perfect accuracy thanks to the aerodynamic design of the projectiles. Ammunition is cheap and readily available and is designed to maintain its composition when passing through organic material. The Gauss cannon has a noticeable kick that must be compensated for by the operator. So yeah, as I told you how Gauss rifles work, and that the bullets can be quite cheap, but I'm surprised that they talking about steel flechettes, tests. I first time seeing this word in English. Sorry. So yeah, it's steel, but in game it doesn't feel like steel. It feels like plasma because it doesn't leave any mark except burn. Okay, let's move on. And we have our modification, Siege mode. They told about no moving parts, but we could see that Siege mode has indeed a lot of moving parts. This modification adds an argon gas ionizer to the weapon. When it initiated, the launch chamber is vacuum sealed as argon gas is ionized until it forms plasma. When the argon has been fully ionized, the chamber is opened and a plasma beam is ejected from the weapon. Due to precise nature of this modification operation, safety valves prevent the weapon from discharging until the argon has been fully ionized. The operator must also remain stationary during charging due to the volatile nature of freeing electrons from the gas. Upon successful release, the plasma beam will penetrate multiple targets and produce a concussive blast at the final point of impact. Yeah, but in reality it goes through enemies like a butter. Okay, chain gun. The Delta 12 chain gun, often refers to as the D12 by operatives, is a high-velocity heavy weapon capable of suppressing multiple targets at once. Recent changes to the firing mechanism have pushed the Delta 12 to the physical limits of a ballistic weapon. An agent-infused piston compresses gas within the firing crucible to over 220,000 psi. It's probably a pressure. It's, as I recall it correctly, is 200,000 times more than Earth's atmosphere at ground level. When released, this launches a 15mm tungsten slug with a muzzle velocity of nearly 5,000 feet per second. Come on, American empirical system. The heat generated by the section is siphoned into a thermal gem compound that automatically recharges the 96 volt battery pack. So the thermal energy goes to recharging the batteries. This allows the weapon to sustain an almost endless firing cycle as long as ammunition is present. The Delta 12 chain gun weighs 45 kilos, making it a lethal but cumbersome armament. So again, I hear urgent, so for me it's again Mamba Jumbo. You probably can explain this weapon without it. The question is where the ton of bullets comes from. There's no like box of these bullets, maybe here, but I mean hundreds of them. Anyway, let's move on. Mobile turret. A secondary firing crucible and compression chamber can be added to the weapon. This modification unbalances the weapon, so remaining stationary while firing is recommended. When used, the weapon fires at twice the normal rate of fire, expending twice the ammunition and superheating the muzzle. Although this modification presents the most powerful suppression in the USC arsenal, often than other than the BFG prototype project. The system can and will overheat if not used cautiously. Yeah, that's a reality. Normal chain gun doesn't overheat. Yeah, it doesn't. But with this one, it does. And I have a modification that just makes overheating near full ammunition. So it doesn't for me, but generally speaking, it does. Okay, what have we missed? The only weapon we've missed is BFG. When correctly charged, ionized and compressed, deadly packets of agent energy can be released in a controlled manner at a velocity and potential energy quota far exceeding conventional weapons. The weaponization of agent energy led to the development and mass production of the plasma rifle, but the USC realized they were capable of much more. The BFG 9000 is the accumulation of those efforts. Only one prototype of the final weapon exists, and it is housed deep within the ARC and in the BFG division. ARC is probably Advanced Research Chamber. We've passed that, and we have it, of course. This weapon delivers streams of supercharged tangent energy to multiple targets and is to some extent self-guiding. The streams will seek any cache of agent it can find, usually demons, or human test subjects that have had agent beacons surgically implanted. Don't ask me. When the streams find their target, they release all of the stored energy in a fraction of a second, delivering an electrical shock that instantly boils the blood and fatty tissue of the recipient. Spontaneous explosion of the subject often follows. Yeah, that's it. The theoretical design for the BFG 9000 was put forward by the R&D development department in the Advanced Research Complex, and the concept was later given its own funding program. The BFG division was formed to develop a working design. Several prototype weapons have since been made. The prototypes never went into full production due to numerous testing accidents and the deadly radiation spikes produced. Previous versions of the weapon had slightly different energy patterns to the current generation. Some released solitary agent spheres that unleashed deadly wave upon impact. Others formed an agent laser that cuts through anything in its path. The current prototype, the BFG 9000, creates agent streams that seek out targets and boil them alive. I think they refer the Doom 2 or one implementation of BFG, where upon impact, every enemy that you see, even though they could be not connected with this explosion, will be damaged, and the damage will be spread equally, if I recall correctly. So if you see only one demon, then upon impact he will took all the damage, and if you have them a lot, then they spread and the damage, and maybe it's not enough for some demons. That's funny because it's really about you're looking at them, not about the plasma thing hitting. So it depending on where you look at upon explosion. Okay, let's move on. Advocates. Witness the BFG 9000. What greater triumph for the glory of the ascension could there be than an entirely new type of weapon, born not only of traditional USC technology, but by your faith and dedication to the cause? Let me guess, is it Olivia talking? This is what we strive for, an understanding beyond traditional science and restrained by the repressive thinking of dimensionally bound contemplation. Only through our use of theft can the power of such mighty weapon can be realized. Such a weapon requires not only science but belief. While access to the BFG 9000 is strictly limited to Tier 3 advocates, you are encouraged to envision the day you too might get to see the magnificence of its design if you are luckier still experience the invigorating touch of its majestic form of Agent Energy. They just overhyping dying from the plasma. It's kind of overhyped, guys. It's not that great. Okay, let's talk about grenades. Frag grenade. The design of this weapon is conventional in nature, though it has been refined to perform at the limit of its ballistic capabilities. The USC fragmentation grenade uses a Comp-D explosive package encased in a steel alloy shell and has an effective fatality radius of about 5 meters. Improvements on the antiquated M67 grenade include a more reliable chemical fuse mechanism, interior matching of the casing to provide more efficient projectile dispersion, and triggers which safely clip to prevent unwanted activation. The newer Comp-D explosive also ensures the radial pressure wave has no drop spots, ensuring full damage potential within the fatality zone. Hologram. The sentient piece of tech is as effective today as it was when first invented in the early 21st century. I don't know any real holograms. There's some holograms, but they are not like the standing person, something like that. It's more like a window into 3D. The holocaster discharges an invisible cloud of ionizing argon, which a camera then uses to project an image through. The refracted light creates a holographic effect above the device. The decoy image has a broad color spectrum and can be quite convincing. The device was first theorized by popular culture media of the late 20th century, like Star Wars, maybe? And the last one, Siphon Grenade, something hellish. The Siphon Grenade was designed to work with the Doom Marine's Praetor suit, specifically to make use of the Argent receptors found in the gloves and chest plates. The grenade has 3 stages. When primed, the grenade releases positively charged particle field around itself and the operator's hand. When the grenade is released, it explodes and it releases a negatively charged particle field over a distance of a few meters. The negatively charged particles attract agent plasma from any demon caught in the radius, steering the plasma from their cells. Finally, the positively charged Praetor suit then attracts the negatively charged agent cloud and gather the plasma. The siphons energy back into the suit, partially healing the Doom Marine. So, is the Doom Marine is the only one and it's me or not? I don't know. It probably is. And who developed this thing? I don't know. Let's move on. Samuel Hayden. Again, first log. I missed it. Before Samuel Hayden died, in quotation mark, he completed detailed instructions and designs for a new body, a bionic automaton with a plasmatronic processing core, a biomechanical brain. Samuel instructed that his frontal and temporal lobes were to remain intact, but the functions of his parietal and orbital lobes were to be bypassed and networked to the plasmatronic core. Samuel's personality, memories, reasoning, and comprehension would be carried over to his new framework, but his perception and calculation would become supercharged. Powered by agent caches and later by an agent accumulator, the cybernetic transference was a success. Samuel returned bigger, stronger, and more formidable than before in a 3-meter tall mechanoid body. When his decision to choose such a mammoth mechanical physique was questioned, Samuel responded, dictating the future of mankind is dangerous work. You never know when we may need a hero. Stem cells and neural conditioning against agents, not against. Stem cells and neural conditioning agents keep his organic matter, specifically his brain, constantly rejuvenating. He has existed for over 130 years now, and is presumed his lifespan will be indefinite. It is said that his body has long since passed, but his soul will live on forever. Well, guys, who doesn't want that? I want that. Maybe without demonic energy, but we can talk about that too. Okay, third entry. After his rebirth, Samuel was appointed as a project director of the Agent facility. It was deemed too bizarre to have the world's first cyborg leading the most powerful corporation in the solar system. Mechanoid Samuel Hayden proved to be an even more impressive figure than his mortal self. Under his leadership, agent technology exploded. The work achieved at the agent facility destroyed the boundaries of our understanding of physics. As Samuel himself said, we wrote the book and called it Agent. After the unveiling of the global energy distribution matrix, it was clear who was really in control of the USC. Samuel Hayden's triumphant return to power was complete. In a stunning display of bravado and conceit, when the GEDM was finally switched on, Samuel Hayden was live streamed from in front of the Agent Tower, pulling a massive 12-foot power lever to dispatch the first agent package to Earth. This sent a clear message to the people of the known solar system. There is only one man that can turn on the power. So yeah, it's a big dude that creates a big lever and showed everything. I will turn it on. It's kind of marketing if you ask me. Vega, we have all 3 entries. Running the agent facility takes a lot of power, not just electrical and mechanical power, but computational power. With so many interdependent systems feeding off a single power source, the USC decided it would need to create a central mainframe computer to manage not only the flow of energy of agent energy, but the day-to-day operations of a facility with over 60,000 employees. This mega computer, the brainchild of Samuel Hayden, head of the USC, would exceed the computational ability of any system before it, and more importantly, would be recognized as the first truly autonomous artificial intelligence entity. They named it Vega. Vega is an acronym, though the exact meaning has not been revealed by Hayden or the USC. Once named, it was decided that the AI would need to be given a personality to make interaction interactions more agreeable. A gender was assigned, male, a virtual age was established, 50 years old, and a colloquial speech pattern implemented. As such, speaking to Vega is a calming and pleasant affair. A blind study was conducted with computer science students to see if Vega would pass a Turing test. The students were instructed to ask a series of questions to both Vega and a mathematical professor from MIT to see if they could tell which one was the computer. 92% of the students thought if they were both human. Only 8% detected that Vega was a computer. Vega also played the professor. So yeah, it was a trick. Vega is powered by a mix of unrefined argent plasma taken directly from the agent fracture and UIC technology. While details regarding the development of Vega are closely guarded secret, it is rumored that the Vega's core is powered by a piece of arcane technology found near the agent fracture. The behavior and calculating power of Vega is unprecedented in AI theory, and the system is, to some extent, self-taught. After the initial core software was uploaded, Vega began gathering data from all the UIC subsystems without oversight and effectively took control of the mass facility operations. Vega also proposed a more effective method for processing agent plasma into agent energy, devised better analysis theorems, and even designed new agent compression schema allowing for the development of agent caches and later the agent accumulator. So it's a big deal here. Weapon. Whoa. Have a lot of text here and some text there. Yeah. So now enemies. Let's try to do them in this order we've encountered them. Let's try it. Imps. These ferocious and agile demons are found all over Hell, and I hate them, and are often used on the front line in concerted attack in either dimension. They revel in battle, feeding off their victims when the hunger takes them. Despite their low status among the demon ranks and their seemingly endless numbers, imps have quite unique characteristics in battle. Some prefer fighting from an elevated position, while others will rush their targets and swipe at them with rather sharp claws. Walls and obstacles offer no defense against the imps, as they will leap great heights and easily hang from the surfaces. The imp, capable of channeling hell energy through its hands and shaping it into a projectile. As the imp channels the energy, airborne particles and debris are sucked into the maelstrom to create a condensed, superheated fireball. The mechanics of the imp's ranged attacks suggest that they are actually a lower form of the summoner. That's funny thing. Let's move on. Possessed soldier. While Lazarus Wave exposure does effectively wipe any vestige of human behavior from most of its victims, some subjects continue to display tactical cognizance posthumously. As with possessed engineers, this does not appear to be random. If an individual has a training in combat, as part of the USC military, the Lazarus Wave event will transform them into more than mere slaves. This anomaly further supports that theory that there is some form of genetic coding embedded within the Lazarus Wave particles which governs the outcome of Lazarus wave exposure on a per case basis. Not Hellguards, that's for sure. Let's talk about Possessed. Yeah, let's talk about them. The Possessed are created in a Lazarus Wave event, a phenomenon first discovered by Dr. Olivia Pierce during her Lazarus project. While most victims exposed to Agent B waves will expire without further effects, some subjects will absorb traces of Agent energy and enter a state of posthumous vigor. Despite necrosis of the internal organs, with the exception of the brain, the victim continues to animate and exhibit a low order of sentience for weeks or even months after clinical death. Posthumous brain activity in the possessed is limited to instinctive behavior. The possessed are known to be territorial when confronted by the living. When isolated, they will often enter a dormant state for extended periods of time. They will stand unmoving for days or weeks at a time until presented with a live food source or threatened by a predator. An interesting behavior. Come on. There's a lot of words. Uninteresting behavior has been seen when the possessed are held in small groups. They will drag human corpses to a central location within their holding pens and then perform a silent ritual around the pile of bodies. The resulting ceremonial site appears to be the initial stages of a gore nest. These actions must be driven by telepathic communication with higher-ranking demons, as there is no local brain activity that could manage such choices. The possessed will perform these tasks even when limbs are removed or Pavlovian pain responders are implanted in their cortex, further cementing the theory that they are unwilling slaves performing an integral part of the life cycle of the demons. The possessed create the birthing ground for new demons, and upon expiration are themselves used as a fertilizer for the gore nest. Funny thing. Possessed engineer. During a Lazarus wave event, which we haven't talked about yet, victims undergo dramatic changes to their physiology, both internally and externally. Aside from fundamentally changing the composition of their internal organs, the high-intensity plasma wave is strong enough to fuse metal to skin. In many cases, personal items such as watches and jewelry can burn through the skin and become permanently embedded in the victim. Okay. Perhaps the most unfortunate victims of these fusing events are any subjects that happen to be working with acetylene tanks or welding equipment, as this equipment is often attached to the body to allow for mobile work in low gravity environment. The Lazarus wave will create a demonized human with a highly consumable explosive device embedded in its skin. The so long-winded explanation why there's suicidal kamikaze enemy. As with all possessed creatures, they are mindless and driven through some form of telepathic communication from an unknown demon overseer. Additional care must be taken when confronting possessed engineer. If the fuel tank is punctured and it doesn't explode, the weakened container can turn the possessed engineer into an explosive projectile. This is a danger to any being nearby, both human and demon. Okay, who's next? Laser man. Where is the laser man? We'll try to find him. Maybe by image? Oh, there's some of them. Okay, Hellraiser. The Hellraiser is an astute and tactical foes will engage enemies from a distance with a powerful beam of unrefined hell energy. The beam emanates from an arm-like protrusion composed of cartilage and other osseous tissue. Some biology things I don't understand. Articulation of the cartilage allows the Hellraiser to focus its energy beam into a single charge shot that will obliterate anything that stands on its path. Recent dissection of a captured Hellraiser has revealed a remarkable embryogenesis. Between the 3rd and 8th week of development, a parasitic Hellraiser will seek out a suitable host to cremate from within. As the Hellraiser matures, the host arm ossifies into a beam weapon. Simultaneously, the pyrolyzed host become capable of withstanding the extreme temperatures generated during the repeated accumulation of hell energy. The Hellraiser has not yet been observed outside of hell, and further investigation is planned for the next tethering operation. Possessed security. Possessed security units exhibit the most complex battle strategy of all possessed humans, including mobile shield advance towards the enemy and firing while in defilade. Possessed security will also drop their shield to adopt a more accurate firing stance at the cost of lowering their defense. Possessed security will keep an optimal distance from its target. If the target gets too close, the possessed security will attack with ferocious shield bash, then retreat to a preferred engagement range. Possessed security have only been observed using the DS-117 UIC shotgun and shield outfit, which suggests that their ranks are exclusively created from members of a special forces military unit called the UIC Neo Phalanx. The Neo Phalanx is used exclusively as military defense for remote UIC colonies. So they are trying desperately to explain how this shielded guy happened to be. Okay, let's move on. Unwilling. Let's talk about Unwilling. The Unwilling are fully transformed possessed that have been transported to Hell to serve as shrine worshippers, slave labor for higher level demons, or cannon fodder for battle within Hell. That sounds funny. So sometimes Hell benefit from humans too. Now I will go from top to bottom because I can miss something. The Summoner, a cunning adversary, is primarily a defensive summoning unit. As the demon horde swarms the enemies, the Summoner sustains the battle by opening a rift to Hell and calling forth reinforcements. To prevent being overrun by the relentless horde, the Summoner should become a primary target in any battle strategy. When directly challenged in combat, the Summoner is capable of channeling hell energy into an urgent wave. Although this wave kills most humans, an occasional victim will be transformed into the possessed. Surviving an urgent wave attack is extremely unlikely, but does not appear to be random. There is evidence that the Summoner selects the most resilient of combats for induction to the Army of Hell. Okay, yeah, they're sometimes dangerous, but it's rare to see them. For example, Baron of Hell, I kill them more than Summoners, although Summoners appear like from the 3rd level maybe, and so on, and Baron of Hell are quite a later story. The Baron of Hell is the highest demon among the Order of the Hell Knights. They rarely leave Hell, and no Baron of Hell has yet been captured by any of the tethering operations. Details regarding the behavior and physiology are therefore limited. It is clear that Barons are ferocious fighters with a bloodlust unparalleled by any other demons. Barons, larger and faster than their lesser brothers, also possesses the ability to generate hell energy fireballs, which can be hurled at the target. In the doomed Project Lazarus manned expedition MTC 2145/128, it is believed that most of the explorers were set upon by Barons of Hell, though the details are unclear. Tablets retrieved from the Great Steppe in the USA automated survey of 2143 suggest that the Baron of Hell are the current royal guard of the unknown Dark Lord of the Fourth Age. While the nature of this entity is unknown, it must be presumed that as the Royal Guard's power has significantly increased, so too has the power of their master. Okay, Cacodemon. Cacodemons are monstrous psionic demons driven by the desire to feed. They display limited intelligence but are often sent into the fray as their natural size and abilities make them an intimidating weapon for the demon horde. When a cacodemon senses the presence of the living, it will hunt them relentlessly until it gets close enough to gnaw on them using an impressive set of mandibles. To aid the hunt, the cacodemon has psychoactive narcotic bile, which it spews at range. On contact, this bile inhibits the perception of the target and compromises movement. The effects wear off after a few moments, which is often enough time for the lumbering beast to get within bite range. Cyberdemon. Oh, it's a big one. Considered to be the most significant marker of success in the development of agent organic research, the Cyberdemon is a flagship creation of the Lazarus project, so it's kinda man-made. As a symbiotic union of a Balgar demon found during the second Project Lazarus manned expedition and an agent accumulator, this beast is capable of withstanding so much punishment that the creature must be kept in permanent suspended animation. Repeated attempts to subdue the beast prove unsuccessful, as when exhausted, the Cyberdemon simply replenishes its life from the accumulator and attacks again with greater ferocity. Only by removing agent implant can the beast be restrained. The Cyberdemon remains in stasis until a suitable method of control can be found. During the Cyberdemon reanimation project, the beast was kept alive by controlling the amount of plasmatic agent energy it received. This kept the beast in an effectively brain-dead state, while additional components were cybernetically implanted. A neural pathway was created between the creature's brain and the agent accumulator, allowing the creature to administer agent power to any part of its body as needed. They empower him, not control him, strangely. In hindsight, this neural pathway was a mistake, as once the pathway was activated, the dormant beast immediately administered an agent surge to the medulla oblongata, which allowed it to restore motor function. Once active, the circulatory system quickly restored, and the beast achieved full motor function within a few minutes. It is only through the bravery. Come on, where is he? It is only through the bravery of follower Jacobson that the beast was contained. Follower Jacobson willingly gave his own life as bait when he lured the giant demon, Cyberdemon, into holding pen 6, where it could be contained. Unfortunately, there was no way to retrieve Jacobson once the doors had been bolted, and he was sacrificed. They enjoy that, these cultists. A report following the incident suggested that this act was not instinct by the Cyberdemon, but rather a suggestion of a greater intelligence governing the will of any creature demon-born, a mastermind of thoughts. Research on this theory continues. Hell Knight. The Hell Knight is a towering brute bred for combat deep in the bowels of hell. Those diabolical beasts are the prized gladiators of the demon horde. They relentlessly stomp towards their target, smashing their massive fists into the ground to create shockwaves that stagger their opponent and leave them vulnerable to bone-crushing melee attacks. The Hell Knight's powerful legs allow it to leap across large distances effortlessly, quickly closing the gap to its enemy. Tablets retrieved from the Great Steppe in the USC Automatic Survey of 2143 suggests that the Hell Knights originally flanked the Great Serpent during the First Age. After their master was defeated by the Guardian, the Hell Knights were placed in the arenas of hell, where they would feed on any victims thrown to them by the demon overlords as sport. It is now believed that they guard the most sacred and important relics in the Netherworld. Lost Soul. These demons are found wandering aimlessly within the temples of hell as they search for a host to inhabit. When a potential victim is found, they will converge on the target and explode with a blast of hell energy. Lesser willed beings weakened by the explosions will then be possessed by the demon, and the host soul becomes lost in turn. So it's like a billiard. Tablets pool game. Tablets retrieved from the Corax suggest that lost souls are considered the lowest of the demons, even lower than imps, since the wandering nomads doomed to forever roam the whole of hell thrive on the weakest entities. Lost souls are despised by the other demons. Despite their lowly status, they should not be underestimated. They shouldn't be, indeed. I need a second to catch my breath. Okay, Mancubus. The Mancubus is a lumbering behemoth demon. A full odor accompanies its presence, a stench that can be overwhelming if inhaled directly. Yeah, it looks like it. Mancubi gorge on anything they can find and are not averse to eating rancid flesh. Their diet rots in their digestive system, making their innards highly flammable. So these foul creatures are decked in light armor when they reach maturity, but their grotesque frame soon outgrows the armor, exposing their stomach and face. That's funny. Mancubi have taken their disgusting physical condition and turned it into a weapon. As they reach maternity, a chitinous growth begins to form over each hand, creating a hard-shelled barrel. As the flesh inside decomposes, a noxious effluvium begins to leak from the barrel. The Mancubus can spew this discharge from the barrel over a remarkable distance. The volatile goo ignites under the tremendous pressure, creating a highly effective biomechanical flamethrower. They try so hard to explain every move of these enemies. Their bizarre physiology can also be their undoing. The putrid skin covering their soft belly is easily pierced. When exposed, their organs will explode violently, showering a sizable area within their revolting and toxic innards. Pinky. These demonic animals are named by those in hell. They were colloquially named Pinkies due to their unusual skin pigmentation when they first discovered by the Lazarus Project tethering operation. Their aggressive nature against the living is well documented. pinkies will charge once their prey is detected, using a cortical bone plate that covers their face as a battering ram. They accelerate quickly, but they have limited control when charging. Their inability to stop quickly or turn makes them vulnerable to charging over the ledges or into hard surfaces, stunning them. At close range, the pinky has a significant bite, which it will use to fend off attackers. They have limited visual perception and rely primarily on pheromone detection to locate enemies. The thinner skin on their flanks does not offer as much protection and should be considered a point of weakness. Gnawed carcasses of pinkies have been extracted from portals, suggesting that they are considered delicacy in hell. So the little pigs in hell. Remnants. Remnants are USC military operatives that has been methodically transformed into demon combats through cybernetic augmentation and repeated Lazarus wave exposure. The transformation begins by attaching a multiple launch rocket battery onto each shoulder of the patient, coupled to an agent charged neural biochip implanted at the base of the cerebral cortex. This rocket allows the remnant to both attack its target with multiple conventional rockets and also to fire mobility boosters located under each rocket. During initial development of the Remnant program, a curious side effect of Lazarus wave exposure was discovered. The agent energy held within the plasmatic isotopes of the Lazarus wave mutates Austrian proteins, resulting in rapid skeletal growth. The expansion of the bone matters results in avulsion of the skin and connective tissue. The flesh literally torn from the bones. As the skeleton continues to grow, the exposed internal organs begin to decompose. After several weeks, the intense pain for the patient, the skeletal growth stops, resulting a 3-meter beast comprised primarily of bone. The height varies depending on patient original physiology. Despite this bizarre biological structure, the remnant appears to bear no ill effects. They try so hard to explain the looks and so on. That's very curious for me. Let's leave the last enemies for later. I missed someone? It seems like not. Only few left, except big bosses. Cyber Mancubus. The Mancubus strain of demon has long been subject of fascination among Lazarus Project scientists. Eager to understand the biology of these creatures, a team of biogenetics led by Dr. Pierce herself, of course, was formed to research and manipulate the behavior and effect of the creatures. The work of Dr. Pierce and her biogenetics proved successful, and several cybernetics mancubi are currently held in captivity within the Lazarus Project laboratories. They are held under the strictest USC security protocols, and so there's no chance of an escape. Citation needed. Yeah, it needed. Spectre. Whoa, okay. Spectre is an unfortunate result of a misguided attempt to genetically modify the pinky. Several pinkies were gathered during the first Lazarus tethering operation. 4 of the captured beasts were vivisected. While 3 of these experiments resulted in the death of the subjects, 1 resulted in a pinky with limited psionic abilities. In an attempt to increase its ocular capacity, the optic nerve of a cacodemon was transplanted into the pinky. I don't see it, but let's believe them because they are partially invisible. After the operation, the animal was returned to its enclosure to cover. It is believed that the beast was accidentally released from the pen when its keeper, thinking the invisible spectre has escaped, opened the gate. Several months after the first spectre went missing, the second tethering operation captured two fertile specimens. Presumably, the original spectre wandered into the Lazarus Wave tasting facility and was teleported back to Hell by a summoner. It is unknown how the spectre managed to breed, but the psionic trait has carried to the offspring. Besides this psionic invisibility, there are no known difference between the Pinky and Spectre. In gameplay wise, you can kill them from their front, because Pinky simply can't with any weapon, and this one can be killed with any weapon, just has a lot of health. So it's invisible, but you don't need this hassle to go to his rear. Okay, Spider... No, let's start with Hell Guards. The borderlands between Titan's realm and the Great Steppe is home to one of the most ferocious demons yet, the Biomech Hellguard. While there has been no direct human contact with this beast, it was discovered by scout bots during the second Project Lazarus tethering operation. Confronting this demon signaled the end of the expedition, but the scout bots did manage to send data to the relay beacons before they were destroyed. A detailed study of the few video frames that were captured before the equipment was destroyed revealed that the Hellguard is actually a parasite housed within a bone and keratin exoskeleton. The parasite imbued with enormous quantities of Hell energy, provides power to the Hellguard and controls its actions entirely. Before entering the exoskeleton, the Hellguard exoskeleton is a lifeless husk. Attempts to retrieve the parasite alone have proved fruitless, as the uncoupled demon is too weak to survive passage between demons. Once coupled, however, the demon presents a daunting and relentless enemy. Yep, Spider Mastermind's last enemy. The first Project Lazarus tethering operation retrieved a small compendium from the umbral planes in the crypt of a destroyed tower of unknown construction. Artifact reference PL E2M8. Again, link to the Doom, maybe Doom 2. This Wade Mechum, or maybe it's Doom 1 in real Mastermind. This Wade Mechum was mostly illegible, but it did contain one of the rare references to the Arania Imperatix, a mystical demon that is still largely unknown. When the gate is opened in the Fourth Age, when we have risen and the masters have shown us the path she will become, a great blessing will be given to the key holder, for they will become one with the master, and in that holy union the power of the dark priest will be unleashed upon the heretics of the penumbral plane. The Arania Imperatrix, carried in the mind of all who follow, fed from the blood of those who fell, made with the bone of rock, iron, steel, and sinew. Mighty God to rule all other gods. One become two, become legion. Yep. Let's continue to the artifacts.